receive the pump, you open the small box first. In the small box, you got two hands and the holder and screws. Use the short screw when you use a single pump hand, and use the long screw when you use a dual pump hand. The pump hand can be separate by single push. Separate pump hand from 1 to 2. This one can be installed together or individually. Open the big box inside with your pump. In one of the bags, you will got your venting tube, 5 meter, and the silicone tube that come together with the pump, and the manual, and the electric supply plug, necessary accessories. This one is used for data logger. If you don't connect PC, it's not necessary to use. This is some grease you may apply after some time. You can follow the manual to apply it on the pump or the motor. And this red color is used to cut your tube. When you receive the pump, take out the pump. You can load your pump vertically like this. Then under the bottom of the pump, there's 2 protection screws. You must remove them by your screwdriver. This one I have already removed before. You remove the 2 screws that has indicated by the label. Remove the screw first, then you can start to install the pump hand. There's 2 pump hands that come together with your pump. One is with a bigger connection that is connected to the pump directly. Another one is the second pump, which is used to connect together with the first pump hand. So when you install it, you can separate them first by simply pulling out. After you separate them, you can install the first pump hand, then install the second one following. If you only use one hand, you can use the short screw to hold the pump hand. There's 2 holes here, 2 holes that are used for you to install the stander. You can install the stander like this, then hold them by the screw. Then you can on the top of the pump. If you are using 2 pump hands, you cannot use this short screw anymore. You need to use the long screw. The long screw is installed after you install the second pump hand on the top of the first pump hand. Then use the longer screw to hold on the top of the first and the second together. When you install the pump hand, you can see here got angle. This one can rotating by your hand. You can adjust angle that is fit for your pump, which is easier. You can make them to be fit for moving. Then follow your habit. You can install the red color first by simply pulling. Then the pump hand by simply pulling. You need to adjust the angle to the correct way. It's easier for you to pulling in. You just adjusting, simply pulling. I put the first pump hand into the pump. I can adjust the angle to install my second pump hand into the system. Make sure they are flat and connected properly. At this moment, you can install your stand. Install your stand by holding with the longer screw. You can tie the screw first, then later adjust the angle based on the pump. You can let this one same vertically as the pump. That this one can be hold the pump properly when it works. At this moment, before you tie the pump hand, you can let the pump rotate into horizontal. Then you check about this hand, double tie properly. At this moment, you have finished the installation of the pump. Before you install the pump hand, you can install the tube first. Last time we have discussed during WhatsApp, and because the tube installed on the pump hand is consumable, it's very easy to break down with the rotating. So you can use a short tube here, then extend it by the extension adapter that you are applied. During your install tube, you can from left to right to left, follow your habit. Then you're rotating the tube to let it go to another side. Then pulling it, let it go out. Make both sides equally, then easier for you to handle. This tube can be installed before you install the pump hand. You can install the first pump hand, then install the tube for the first pump hand, then install the second pump hand, install the tube for the second pump hand. After you install the pump hand, you can lock the tube. At this moment, the tube cannot move anymore. After that, you can use the extend to extend your tube to your system. If necessary, you can hold this one by the tie to hold it properly. Both sides can be installed like this. Then after you finish the application, if in future your tube break down, you can just simplify, replace this part. No need to replace the whole tube. Now we will start to test the pump. From the behind, plug in your electric supply. Then you can turn on the switch. Turn on the switch, you will got the start to work. Normally, you don't need to change anything. You are using tube number 25. If you need to send any, you can click sending. You choose your pump hand, tubing. To choose, click OK. Pump hand, you choose based on your type. This one cannot see, so you just follow the menu. Normally, what you need to check is only this flow rate. You can send the flow rate by the number. For example, you send at 25. You can click OK. Then your sending value will be 25. This one indicates the rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise. It's the temperature that we are applying now. So how to start it? After you finish the sending, you can click the start to start the rotating. You can see now the pump is start to work. If you want to change the direction, you can click this one. Then the rotating speed change from anti-clockwise to clockwise. If you click again, it change from clockwise to anti-clockwise. If you have a gas bubble or something, you can use this one. The one is rotating as the maximum to allow it to move your gas bubble out. Then after finish, you can stop. So for the detail of the application, You can follow the menu. If you don't want other people to change, you can click log. You can also send your password, everything.